When you think of luxury watches, one name often comes to mind: Rolex. Founded by Hans Wilsdorf in the early 1900s, Rolex has grown into the world's most powerful watchmaker. It's known for its innovation, top-notch quality, and a famous endorsement from a major celebrity in the 20th century. Despite not revealing sales figures, experts estimate Rolex produces about 1 million watches annually, making it a leader in the luxury watch industry. Let's explore how Rolex became the king of luxury watches. On March 22, 1881, Hans Wilsdorf was born in Kulmbach, Germany. His parents died within months of one another when he was 12. Funds from the sale of the family company were used to send Hans and his siblings to the esteemed Ernestine Coburg boarding school in Bavaria, Germany. Hans made friends with a Swiss youngster at school who told him about the country's long history of watchmaking. Hans became curious about the nation as a result of this. Hans left the boarding school at the age of 19 and shifted to Geneva in Switzerland. He was able to get a job as an apprentice at a large global pearl firm. One day, he received a letter from his friend informing him about a job opportunity at one of the biggest and most successful watchmakers of that period. Hans had a good job at the pearl company, but he was fascinated by Switzerland and the watchmaking industry, hence he took up the job at the watchmaking company in the year 1900. Hans, a 22-year-old, relocated to London, England, to work for a well-known watch company. After 2 years, he was promoted to a more responsible position where he was to concentrate on the sales. In the early 1900s, a wise man from London wanted to be successful in the watch business. He began with almost nothing, but he had a vision, hope, determination, and work ethic, among other things. His aim was to revolutionize the dial of the watch. The history of Rolex can be said to have started in 1905, when Hans Wilsdorf registered a watch distribution company in London. But to get the whole picture, we have to go back to 1903 when Wilsdorf, who was only 22 at the time, relocated to London. However, on his way, he was attacked by robbers who took all his money, 33,000 German gold marks. However, this was not the end for Wilsdorf. He remained in the English watch industry and started planning for his own company. He also got naturalized as a British citizen during this time. Wilsdorf, at the age of 24, decided to venture into his own watch manufacturing company with his friend Alfred James Davis. Wilsdorf had the technical know-how in watchmaking, while Davis offered the much-needed capital and further cemented the partnership by marrying Wilsdorf's younger sister. It was in 1908 that Hans Wilsdorf got the idea for the brand while traveling on the top deck of a famous London double-decker bus. He had been looking for a brand name for years. He later said, "A genie whispered Rolex in my ear." Wilsdorf has also said the word had a good sound, like winding a watch. Rolex entered history in 1926 with the introduction of the first waterproof wristwatch, the Rolex Oyster. Long-distance swimmer Mercedes Glaetz wore an Oyster watch while swimming across the English Channel. After 10 hours of travel, the watch, enclosed in its waterproof container, was still accurate. In order to commemorate this success, Rolex decided to put a full-page advertisement in the Daily Mail, congratulating the successful waterproof watch test. This event gave rise to testimonial advertising concepts in the Rolex company. In 1945, Rolex launched the Oyster Perpetual Datejust, the first self-winding chronometer with date indication to celebrate the company's 40th anniversary. This watch is waterproof, luminous, and comes in 18-karat yellow gold. Some of the famous personalities who've worn the Datejust include Dwight Eisenhower, Martin Luther King Jr., and the Dalai Lama. Jennifer Lopez is often spotted with the Lady Datejust, which is an indication of her love for the best watches. This is a familiar scene where celebrities are seen wearing a Rolex, which is considered as a status symbol of affluence. However, none are as loyal as those who often use one of them. A tragedy occurred in the Wilsdorf family a year before Rolex's 40th anniversary. Hans lost his wife Florence, who was his life partner. Hans, who was an orphan at age 12 and never had children with Florence, continued to be one of the richest and most successful men in the world. In 1944, he created the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation and promised to donate all the profits of Rolex to charity. In 1953, Rolex introduced two iconic watches, the Explorer and the Submariner. The Explorer was designed for the mountains and valleys, and the Submariner was patented for the forces of the sea. These watches were worn by famous people such as Sir Edmund Hillary and Auguste Piccard during their great accomplishments. Today, you can be part of this tradition by wearing the Submariner and Explorer that are still popular today. The next year, in 1960, Rolex made another record by taking the deepest diving watch ever to the ocean. The Trieste, an advanced bathyscaphe, became the first vehicle to descend to the Mariana Trench. The famous Lieutenant Don Walsh risked his life and went down to the Mariana, the deepest point of the world's oceans, wearing a Rolex. After the death of Hans Wilsdorf in 1960, the management of the Rolex business was handed over to the Hans Wilsdorf Foundation. The Explorer watches by Rolex were intended to be waterproof and to be able to overcome difficult terrains across the globe, while the Submariner was made to endure the pressures of the sea, including the abyssal depths, as evidenced by the Trieste mission. Rolex has remained steadfast in its innovation in the field of watchmaking and has not ceased to amaze the world. One of those innovations that was made was the Oyster Perpetual Explorer II in 1971. This watch had a 24-hour hand and was mainly designed for cave divers who required a clear differentiation between day and night. The Explorer II was not only used in caves, but was also in various conditions, ranging from the Manhattan skyscrapers to the Amazonian rainforest, where it's important to know the time of day during long hours of darkness. Rolex caught its fans off guard in 2005 when it unveiled a new appearance for its professional lines. These watches had Cerachrome bezels in deep black, vibrant blue, and distinctive green tones, as opposed to the gold, silver, and brown tones that are more typical with the occasional red tinge. Hans Wilsdorf also had to endure skepticism and criticism, as it is with most inventors of the given period. Wristwatches were once laughed at. People said that the delicate parts of the watch couldn't stand the pressure of daily use and movement. However, Wilsdorf didn't give up and continued to work on the project, ignoring the critics and showing the skeptics that they were wrong. His hard work and creativity led to the foundation of Rolex and its continued success in the watchmaking business. Rolex is not revolutionary, it's evolutionary. Today, Rolex manufactures more than 2,000 watches per day and is listed among the world's top 10 companies. Jean-Frédéric Dufour is mentioned as the current CEO of Rolex, who's been with the company since 1992 and became the CEO in 2013. Some of the major technical and marketing developments that are now standard in the industry were first introduced by Rolex. The Rolex story of Hans Wilsdorf is still present today, such as the patent for the waterproof and dustproof Oyster case in 1926 and the invention of the self-winding wristwatch in 1931. Known for innovation, top-notch quality, and famous endorsement from major celebrities throughout the world, Rolex truly is the king of luxury watches. What do you think about these revolutionary inventions? Please leave your comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos from Fashion Luxe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.